because I want to talk about who you are and the things that make you you.
Nope.
And on a maybe more positive note, let's talk about like how you've manifested your life and how you've manifested your success and being one of the biggest artists in South Africa. Like, tell me, anything come to mind when you think about how you manifested your life?
When you say that, I immediately just think about like when I was like 13, and this is the story I told you, I think. When I was 13, my big brother, who's actually the guy that taught me how to use FL Studio and how to record myself, how to make beats and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So he used to always go to one of his friends and get me like, so we have rewritable discs, right? Remember those CDs where you could
Yeah.
So
like
he
an
had one of
actual
those.
CD or a
An
floppy
actual
disk?
CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, actual CD that you could rewrite. So he used to go to this other guy, a close friend of his, Ubongani. Used to go to him, get all these softwares, get the plugins that I needed and stuff like that. And one day he went there to get, I think he was trying to get me a game, like a video game. I think it was GTA or FIFA or something like that. But I think Bongani made a mistake and gave him the wrong disc in return, right? And it just so happened to have the Law of Attraction documentary or movie.
No way. I actually don't think you told me this.
Yeah, but that's really how I got put onto it. So then I just watched it because I thought it was a movie. I was like, all right, I might as well just watch it.
That's so funny.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I watched it, and obviously like being desperate to find any sort of like motivation or inspiration or anything to kind of, give me a glimpse of what life could be or whatever.
Attach yourself to.
Yeah, I was like, immediately, I was like, all right, I want to try it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to lose anyways, I'm just going to try it. So I tried it. First I tried it on like small stuff, meaningless stuff really. I tried it on like shoes. I used to draw Chuck Taylors. I was a huge fan of Wayne, and Wayne always wore like Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
I used to draw Chuck Taylors, put them on my Facebook DP and stuff like that. And then, just to give you a little bit of context, father never really bought me a lot of clothes like that. Like he would buy us what we needed.
Yeah.
Like school uniform, pair of shoes, maybe something like that.
But you weren't showing up with merch like this.
Nah. So that's what I did. And then out of nowhere, I just started being able to get all these things that I used to always just draw and put up and try and manifest and picture myself wearing and shit like that. And then those things just started just coming to me like randomly.
How?
I don't know.
Like
At some point, he bought me a pair. At some point, I just found a way to raise money and buy myself my own pair. People would offer me shit.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then I did the same thing with like, I didn't have a phone. I used my brother's phone. And I wanted a BlackBerry because that was like the in thing. So I downloaded this theme, a BlackBerry theme on a Nokia. Picture myself using a BlackBerry and shit like that. And before you know it, I had multiple. I had like 3 BlackBerries at a time.
You're like, I don't even need these.
Yeah, in that 1 year, I had like 10, I think. And that was crazy. And I was like, okay, cool, this thing works. And then I started to apply it to like stuff that mattered. Like I started thinking about success, started thinking about like passing my grades at school, just being a better person in general, and just like, being successful at what I really wanted to do, just music.
And what was the first thing that happened in music that you that you kind of manifested?
Getting a proper microphone is one of the things that I got, like it was very intentional. I was like, all right, cool, I need a microphone that looks like this. I didn't even know what it was called. I didn't know how to get it. I didn't know how much it cost. But I just had a picture of it. Because I saw like, when you see music videos and shit like that, like you see Snoop rapping into that mic, and I was like, all right, I need that microphone.
I need Snoop's mic.
I need Snoop's mic. So I got that, and then I was like, all right, now I need shows and stuff like that. And shit just kind of started to fall in place, It just became a part of my daily cycle, I think. Every time I woke up, I used to just always think about what I wanted and what me working on music and take music as like being my career looked like, and it just started to manifest.
That's so cool. And so you do it to this day.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us like manifestation applied daily 101? Like, is there any advice, any like steps?
Yeah, an easy way to do it. Like when I don't even have the time to do this anymore. Well, I do have the time, actually. I'm lying, but I should be doing this, but I don't really do it anymore. What you can do is when you wake up, write a list of the things, write like 10 things that you want to manifest, right?
That day?
Yeah, that day.
Or in general, okay.
That day. You can have like a list on your wall that you see every day, but it's always good to write it because as you're writing it, you're thinking about it, you're imagining it. Imagination is a huge part of this thing. Why is there shit everywhere in New York?
I don't know. This is not going to convince you to want to move here.
No, it's definitely not helpful. But yeah, so you write those things down, you imagine them. Imagining them is a huge part of it. But what really ties it all together, and I guess makes it even stronger, is if you feel some type of way as you're doing that. Your emotions have to be heightened. They have to be very strong while you're doing that.
Meaning like you're feeling what it feels like to have.
To have it.
Yeah.
Right? You have to write it as if, like you have to accept it. You have to, what are the steps again? I think it's believe. My mind is going blank. Okay.
Believe, feel, like.
That's not, yeah, it's believe something in the middle, and then the third one is receive, right?
Okay.
So you have to believe that you can attain these things. You have to be grateful, you know, and then the third step is you have to receive it. So as you're writing down the things you want, you can't say, I want a Mercedes. You have to say, I am so grateful that I get to drive a Mercedes.
Oh yeah. It has to be like,
You know?
as if you have it.
As if you have
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so every day in the morning you can write like a list of those things. Just feel good about it as you're writing it. Just feeling them is very important. And then just go about your day. Don't worry too much about how you're gonna get them or when you're gonna get them. Just go about your day, and then just do that every single day.
And
it sounds ridiculous, and I'm the worst person at explaining stuff. So
no,
you know?
you're doing great.
But yeah, it works.
But my one question is, that list for the day, are you supposed to be receiving those things that day?
No.
Okay, it's just like you're starting to get in the habit of picturing them.
Yeah, but some things you can receive in that day though. Like
Okay.
say for instance, you know that day you're gonna have an interview. Maybe you want a job at some place.
Yeah.
And you know you're supposed to have an interview that day. Just wake up in the morning, just write down all the things that you want that person to like about you. You say, I'm so glad Spencer likes my personality, or the way I dressed, or the way I showed up today, or he likes my presentation, or whatever. That thing can actually happen. If you feel good about it,
Yeah.
and that's your energy throughout the whole day, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay, so my last question on manifestation is, do you ever have days where you're like just doubting yourself? Like, I can't hit that number of listens or something. Like, and
Yeah.
if you've ever had that, how you deal with it and get yourself to a place where you can
It
get past
definitely
that.
happens. It definitely happens. There's many ways you can get over it. It's not easy. I can't just, there's no method, there's no real method to just unfeel those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very hard. If you have good people around you with good energy and stuff like that, always try and go to them and, you know, speak to them about something positive to kind of just drag your mind out of that zone,
Okay,
and then come back to it with a lighter heart, with a brighter perspective.
okay,
And,
that's
You
cool.
always feel a little bit.
So,
Trying to do it by yourself is damn near impossible sometimes.
yeah, I believe it. That's something I kind of struggle with sometimes. So you as an artist, do you attribute that largely to your like belief in yourself and your manifesting your life and your career?
I think so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I always just kind of had to believe that I could do half of the stuff that I've done without having anyone else confirm that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Half of it I've had to imagine it, believe that it can be done by myself, because everyone else is kind of like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.